Hello and welcome to I'm Organic Gardening. My name is Mark and I'm located in Zone 6B in the state of New Jersey. And today I want to go over just a little short experience that I'm having, and maybe you're having the same problem too with your sugar snap peas. I planted these about 7 weeks ago, and usually by this time they're at least maybe a foot or a foot and a half tall. And I know it's due to the weather this year, and I just want to say that I'm experiencing the same problem. They are weak this year, they are shorter than usual, and it's again due to the weather. We've had all these cold periods for like 3 or 4 days, and then it turns around and be let's say 86 degrees, and they're just not adapted to that kind of quick change, I'm assuming, but I'm sure they're going to turn out all right. But I want to just show you what I see that I'm experiencing for the first time probably in 15 years. I've never had this problem, and let's just get you a close-up picture, see how they're doing, and you can compare what's going on with you if you're located in Zone 6B or some other areas. It seems like a lot of other people are having the same problem, so I just want to make note of this so you have a good understanding and don't feel that it's your soil or anything else too. It is just the environment this year, meaning the weather. Here's a small section of my row. My row is about 50 feet long, and here's a good indication what's going on here. Now, they seem to be very spindly. I know I have them close together, and let's dig one up here on the side. I want to see how the roots are doing, and that's always a good indication. If you can get in there and kind of dig up what's going on here. Let's see. Oh, they're quite deep, not bad. But you can see here with the roots that they're not too bad. They're about, let's say, 5 or 6 inches long, and I don't see any nodules yet. They shouldn't be on here. They're just too early in the season. So, but again, this is the typical plant, and they're only about 4 to 5 inches tall. They look healthy. They're doing well. But again, they're not as strong in the stem as I would like them to be. I know, like I mentioned before, that they're very short, and see what's going on here. But usually, in my records, they're usually about, let's say, anywhere from a foot to 16 inches tall, and they're not even seeming to be that way this year. What I noticed is doing very well is that these tendrils are clinging onto the cattle panel that I have here, which is a nice effort by them to make sure that they grow up straight and give me lots of sugar snap peas in the future. But the other thing that I've noticed is we've had so much wind this year and just beating these things down, and I'm surprised that it's even happened so much that these are surviving. But again, the weather is a huge factor this year. I've never seen so much rain and cool temperatures and high temperatures, and we'll see what's going on. But hopefully they'll make an effort and come back and give us a good, bountiful harvest. But then on the other hand, I have this beautiful comfrey plant. It's about 2.5 feet tall, and it's starting to bloom, so it can feast our nice honeybees and bumblebees, and we'll see what's going on with that. But this row, and I'll give you a bigger shot of that, is doing very nicely. And I'm just so impressed how nature survives over winter and comes back. This is in my permaculture little garden here, and is doing very well. And I will also show you my new problem, and I believe it's called hogwort, and it's a weed. Here it is. This is called hogwort. It almost kind of looks like a fake mum plant. The only way I know, some people put boiling water on it, but there's really no spray. You can probably use a flame weeder, but it's difficult to get after because I have leaves a lot of here, so that flame weeder is going to just be starting a small fire. The only way I know is to get there early in the season, and that's the one thing about mulch, is to get in there and rip those roots out. But you're not going to get them all. It's going to be a huge effort. They make a huge taproot that goes across in the leaves, but the only thing you have to do is keep after it, and we'll see what happens. Now, if you have a huge area, a lot of people put down a tarp on top and kind of smother it out. I heard that it works pretty well, but it is a huge problem in the garden, and it will actually grow quite tall, almost anywhere from 3, 4, 5 feet tall. Here's my beautiful row of Comfrey. It's doing quite well, even with our hard winter this year. And it's nice to have some green material in the garden. If you want to do some early composting, you can mix it in with your compost. Now you have your greens and plenty of browns as your leaves, so you can start something ahead of time if you want to. But again, it's just nice to have. It's that permanent root over winter time that's going to help and grow soil. And the other thing which is amazing about this is now, if I want to, I can divide them even now at this particular time. It's not going to hurt the plant at all. And we can get probably, out of one plant, we can probably get at least 4 to 5 plants out of it and plant it up, and it'll be fine. So if you see your sugar snap peas suffering a little bit, I'm having the same problem. It's probably any type of peas that were planted early. They're probably not going to produce as well this year, but who knows? Things can change. Mother Nature is always evolving and challenging us every year, and that's the best part of gardening. It's not the same thing every year. It's always one or two things that might get sidelined a little bit and be different from each other, but keep the confidence up. You're doing well, and your garden is going to be fine. It's just going to, maybe this isn't going to be the volume that we get all the time, but it might be a great season for tomatoes or sweet corn or squash or pumpkins or butternut squash. You never know. But that's one thing, again, and that's one of the joys of gardening. So keep it up, enjoy gardening, and I'll see you again with another video. Thanks.